Hello, it's been a while since my last video. I have found this whole situation overwhelming. I would like to give an update on what has been happening. This will probably be a bit all over the place, since there is so much to talk about. Ever since making my first video, I have been bombarded with emails and messages. I did not expect so many people to contact me. But I wanted to talk about something that I did not expect that has shocked and devastated me. When I made my videos, I expected to be attacked by apostates. Well, some apostates have contacted me. What has really shocked me is the conversations that I have had with Jehovah's Witnesses who have contacted me through my YouTube account. I have conversations with about 20 people who are Jehovah's Witnesses, and each and every conversation follows almost the exact same pattern, which I find very strange. First, it starts off with them telling me that they can answer my questions. The questions that I have are in regard to specific things printed in the Society's publications. For example, one of my questions is in regards to the September 2007 Kingdom Ministry, and why is the Society discouraging brothers and sisters getting together in small groups to do private research? And also, why is the Society discouraging learning Greek and Hebrew in order to check the accuracy of the New World Translation? I have been shocked in some of the responses that I have received. Some of them claim, even after reading the September 2007 Kingdom Ministry, that the Society is not discouraging small groups of brothers and sisters from doing private research, and that the Society is not discouraging the learning of Greek and Hebrew. How can anyone read the September 2007 Kingdom Ministry and then say the Society is not discouraging this? The article cannot be more clear. Every single elder that I have talked to in my congregation and the neighboring one has agreed that the Society discourages small groups of Jehovah's Witnesses getting together for private research, and most certainly discourages learning Greek and Hebrew to check the accuracy of the New World Translation. In fact, a brother I know has been threatened with deletion as a ministerial serpent if he continues to meet together with me to do private research and help me with my questions. Also, what I found disturbing was how some of the Jehovah's Witnesses were not being honest about what is printed in the Society's publications. For example, one brother stated to me that in the September 2007 Kingdom Ministry, the Society encouraged the brothers to gather libraries of older publications for personal research. That is simply not true. There is nothing in that article that says anything of the sort. Another one of my questions is in regards to the April 2010 Kingdom Ministry, and why is the Society discouraging taping the talks at meetings and sharing them with fellow brothers and sisters? Some of the Jehovah's Witnesses that have contacted me through YouTube deny that the Society is discouraging us from recording talks. Again, how can you deny that they are discouraging recording talks when that is exactly what the article states? That is not honest. To make matters worse, these Jehovah's Witnesses that deny that the Society has published these things claim that I'm misquoting the literature and that I'm the problem. Some of them have been very insulting, and that upsets me. We are supposed to be the most loving group of people on the earth, and this is how they treat one another? Another thing that I have found disturbing is that some of them have claimed that the counsel from the faithful slave is optional, and that we do not have to follow it. For example, the Society has clearly discouraged making websites about Jehovah's Witnesses, yet some are disobeying the slave and doing it anyway. Some of the Jehovah's Witnesses that have contacted me have claimed that these are simply suggestions, and we do not have to follow them. They have even going so far as to tell me that even things such as birthdays are a conscience matter, and that a person would not be disfellowshipped for celebrating a birthday. Now that is a flat-out lie. Birthdays are not a conscience matter. If these things being said to me were just said by one or two persons, then I could just chalk it up to a couple nut jobs. But it has been the majority of witnesses that have contacted me that have made these claims. Then when I point out with evidences they are mistaken, they attack me, even going as far as to try to scare me into thinking that, if I do not agree with them, that my family and I will be killed by Jehovah at Armageddon, because I disagree with them. They have told me that I'm the problem, or that I have a problem with Jehovah, and have threatened that I will be disfellowshipped. I would like to also discuss something that has been very upsetting. and that is some of the websites made by fellow Jehovah's Witnesses. One of them, for example, is a website about victims of child abuse who have taken the Watchtower Society to court. Now, there is a chance that some of these people are lying. That's always a possibility. However, how can all of them be lying? Also, we are in no position to know for sure or not if any of these people are telling the truth. People who suffer from child abuse have undergone an enormous amount of pain and suffering. If a person claims to be abused, we cannot judge that person. What if you tell an abuse victim that they are lying, and it turns out later they were telling the truth? It would be like that person is abused again. So it is better to reserve judgment. It is never right to claim a person is lying about being abused. We must leave it in Jehovah's hands. But that is not what these Jehovah's Witnesses are doing. They have made a website that judges, mocks, insults, and makes fun of the victims who took the Watchtower Society to court. How can someone be so cruel? Even if you believe they are lying, how can you know for sure? You can't. You weren't there. Only Jehovah knows. You have no right to treat people like that, and to think that the people who have made such disgraceful and unloving websites are my brothers and sisters makes me sick to my stomach. There is no way Jehovah or Jesus would have anything to do with that type of behavior. It brings reproach upon his name to treat people in such a way. We are even to love our enemies. I just want to say that I'm so sorry for anyone that has suffered child abuse. I'm sorry if you were mistreated by the elders and fellow brothers and sisters. It is not right what happened. I do not condone that type of treatment, and the child abuse situation is something that I'm still researching. Now I would like to discuss another subject that has been one of the most devastating. One of the most powerful and important reasons that I became a Jehovah's Witness was that it has been said many times that Brother Russell and the Bible students predicted years ahead of time that Jesus Christ's second presence would begin in 1914, and that Jehovah's Witnesses were the only group found awake as to 1914, and that Jehovah's Witnesses had been anxiously awaiting his second presence toward the end of the 19th century, and that this date was published in the Watchtower as early as 1879, 35 years before 1914. I have spent countless hours reading old publications, and to my utter shock, the Jehovah's Witnesses did not predict 1914 would be Jesus Christ's second presence. The Jehovah's Witnesses taught that Jesus Christ's second presence began in 1874, not 1914. The Jehovah's Witnesses were not waiting for Jesus Christ's second presence to occur in 1914 because they believed that it already happened. The Jehovah's Witnesses did not teach that Jesus' presence began in 1914 until 1930. I just cannot believe this. On top of that is the term end of the Gentile times. From 1914, and before the term end of the Gentiles' times was used in reference to Armageddon. It was not until after Armageddon did not come that they changed the term end of the Gentiles' times to mean what it is now. I'm at a loss as to what to do with this information. I do not want to state that the Watchtower lead. But what is it then? How do you explain this? There are so many watchtowers that claim that the Jehovah's Witnesses pointed to 1914 in advance that it can't be a simple oversight. The Jehovah's Witnesses were not waiting for Jesus to return, and if he did return in 1914, they did not realize it until 1930. They were asleep as to Christ's return, just as all the other religions. How did Jesus inspect the Watchtower and choose it in 1918 if the Jehovah's Witnesses did not open the door and were asleep? How can we condemn other religions for not being truthful when we have this in our literature? I'm beside myself and don't know how to proceed. I have had many people suggest I read books such as Crisis of Conscience. I have thought about it, and at this time I'm not going to read it. I have a strong urge to just simply start reading the Bible and learning about the Bible. I realized I need to research the Bible. So I think I'm going to take a break from the Watchtower publications and move on to the Bible. I'm going to read only the Bible for a while and see what happens. To all the people that have been supportive, I thank you, and I'm sorry that I have not responded to everyone. I hope to one day. Also, I would like to say, if you are just going to insult or tear down or be negative, please don't send me messages. This has been a very troubling experience for me, and I don't need further negativity. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.